everyone. It's Adey, chilling with Adey again. Here I have a fantastic guest with me. I'm so excited because this woman, I've been watching her and she wouldn't know that someone's been trailing her. I've been watching her on Facebook and her ideas, her works. You know, I love inspiring people. I love people that are goal getters, that go for what they want. And because I would say I'm one myself, and I always encourage people to be goal getters. I love to bring goal getters on the show. So today, like I said, I've got an important guest with me in the name of Dr. Vera James. Welcome, Doctor.
Thank you so much, Adey. It's amazing chilling with you today.
I know, right? It's been, look, we've been talking before this started. I had to tell her to hold fire because she's got a lot of fire in her to burn tonight. So I'd like to ask Doctor, please could you introduce yourself properly and tell us a bit more about what you do?
Okay, like you said, I'm Dr. Vera James, and I'm a teacher and an education consultant. We recruit staff for schools. By staff, I mean management staff, teachers, and support staff. We do that. We also help, there's a Connect program we run that helps us connect teachers to schools, you know, and then connect teachers to parents. So if parents need home tutoring anywhere in the world, okay, for now we work with Canada, United States of America, and the UK. And so we have some other people calling up now. So what we do is majorly for Nigerians anyway, because we find that some Nigerian parents abroad would want their children to get some Nigerian education, some sort, you know, some cultures, you know, so that's what we're doing. We're helping bridge that gap. So we connect our very, very quality Nigerian teachers to parents abroad, and then to also parents in Nigeria, different parts of the states in Nigeria. We do that as well. We develop curriculum for schools, and we also help schools to implement their curriculum. We don't stop at developing the curriculum. We also teach the teachers, guide them as to how to implement it. So that's where we do our teacher training programs, management training programs, leadership programs for school staff generally, and then that's it. So we do everything consultancy as it relates to education.
Wow, this is so much for the person who's talking to me right now. You wouldn't believe you won't believe that a woman so simple can have a lot on her plate. You know, how I wish the world could be like this, like very humble to say what she does. And not everybody can come out to say what they do because they're not proud of it. It's either they're not proud of it or they feel what they do is too proud for them. Really, they believe what they do is too much. So who am I to, you know, to ask you such questions?
Right.
Hey, so going forward, I just wanted to find out more about, you know, to teaching in Nigeria. The world as a whole has a problem with teaching, but I don't want to diversify too much on that. But let's be specific to Nigeria. What is it like to be a teacher in Nigeria?
Oh, Adey, you know something that's making me laugh? when you were going to ask this question, your face changed. You felt a bit right? So, oh my God, as if you know what is really happening here. Oh Lord. Well, I would say before I really go into the truth of the matter, I would say, okay, yeah, this is a truth as well. It is getting better, you know, and this is because teachers are trying to be deliberate. Okay. But if we look at the country, we look at the world, we look at everything about us, oh, absolutely, it's nothing to write home about. I think that the teaching profession or teachers per se are in the last. You know, there's a part of the budget or the part of everything. They now say, oh, I forgot this one. Oh, yeah,
say that again. Say that again.
Okay, I said it's somewhere not obvious. So the teachers are like, we're an afterthought. And you know, it's funny. Or I wouldn't say funny. It's really not funny. It's sad because no teacher, no nation. I don't know. There's no nation. Okay, we understand that everything rises and falls on leadership. I also agree that no nation can rise beyond the quality of the people who are the molders of the teachers. I'm talking about primary, secondary, and tertiary institutions. And these are the people in my country who have been relegated to the background. For a couple of months now, the academic association in the universities are on strike. And that's because something is not right somewhere. Someone is asking, let's get these things right. We are humans. So recently, I don't know if you saw some social media rounds of posts going about an average professor's salary. You would cringe. I don't even want to mention this because this is public, but you could go search for it and see that even, the professor in the teaching profession is like our demigod. These are the people who have gotten to the peak of the career. And then if people who have gotten to the peak of the career cannot boast of $500,000 every month, I mean, that's because $500,000 is something that an average person can just make in a month.
That's right. Yeah.
And then a professor who does research, who does community service, and goes into classroom to teach, I mean, maybe postgraduate students cannot boast of $500,000. And then you begin to wonder. So I would say that the truth is, it's not one of the professions that are admirable. I mean, just a few of us, just a few teachers are doing their best, such that our children are beginning to see that, oh, this is not a bad profession after all. It's supposed to be a noble one. It's supposed to be the kind of profession that everybody wants to be, but is not able to. But right now, even those who can do it are even running out of the profession everywhere in the world. So one will begin to wonder, not everywhere in the world, but a few places in the world.
Almost everywhere in the world, actually. But saying that, Doctor, I feel that the teaching profession these days are say the last minute thing, like people don't have jobs anymore in Nigeria, and they feel that, just anybody, like the teaching system in Nigeria can admit just anybody because they are so much in need of it. And the masses are so much in need of jobs, they don't have a choice. And this is where I'm going to. So how do you know the quality of people that come into teaching? Because we have lots of private teachers. We have lots of teachers just coming out from nowhere. How do you then look at the quality? Because this might be one of the reasons we call on the government all the time. The government have relegated them to the least. But how are we producing this quality teachers when they don't have other jobs to go to and they see teaching as the last resort to go to?
Right. So the truth is, like you've said already, we do not have so many qualified, I won't use the word qualified, trained educated teachers. Yes, because you may have the qualifications, but that does, or the certifications as it were, but that does not make you trained or good enough to teach. And that's basic truth. We put out CVs, we ask for CVs a lot because we recruit for schools, and then you see CVs of graduates and you wonder. The truth is, and that's something else I don't want to talk about this time out. I'll tell you something that happened recently. Someone approached us, okay, it was through my mom, and says, okay, he wanted a job. So I asked my mom, why does he want to work? Where does it, even if it's a teaching job? That's the kind of words we hear. Even if it's, and I'm like, even if, I'm sorry, I'm not going to go further with that conversation. But the truth is, not many people are willing to teach. So many schools, again, are springing up. And that's a problem we had. In my master's thesis, I talked about that I investigated proliferation of private primary schools in Lagos State. So we have a lot of private schools springing up every day. Now, I don't blame them because they need to feed our children to get access to education. So that, at the end of the day, Adey, you find that all of these problems have spiritual, there's something, there's a connection. We we are producing mass teachers so that they can
Yeah.
go in, or people are coming out of university so that, or out of colleges so they can go into a school to teach. There will be a school to absorb them, because any school can just, they can have a sitting room today and say, okay, I want to start up a primary
Private
school. So
school.
I was listening to a government official recently where she mentioned that we have thousands of schools in particular states, and less than 25% were registered to run. So it means that there are many schools running that are not registered. And so that's why we will still have many children go to such schools, and there will be teachers to teach those children. You see, at the end of the day, the problem is so massive that one person, one group of people might not be able to solve. So what I always advise myself, and I advise teachers and school leaders, is just ensure that you get value. When I put out CVs, I am never in a hurry to recruit, because I have to go. There was a time I also volunteer at a foundation where I'm one of the national directors. And I tell you, sometimes we put out CVs. This is not even the teaching profession alone. We put out adverts for interns. We want to recruit you for. We are not going to pay you a salary, and I get hundreds of people say, I want to do this. People who have master's degrees, who have different degrees, and they're shunning their CVs. While I'm trying to sort out CVs, I find that I am not inviting any one of them. And that's because none of them looks, even no CV looks like what I want. Sometimes, okay, we find hundreds of CVs, we invite like 25 of them, and then at the end of the day, you're not even seeing 5.
Seeing one, yeah.
So it's the ripple effect is so bad. And I'll still go back to the government. I'm sorry. The fact that education is not important to us as a country would definitely affect everything that we do. And this is why your teachers who are teaching at different levels of education, even the tertiary institutions, are not okay, are not satisfied. They might not even give their best. They've been strike for over how many years? The students have been home. Some are not even reading. Some have gone into business. Some are doing other things. And there are students in the Faculty of Education who come. They've actually spent their 7 years maybe doing deliveries or something, or going to the market to buy things for people. People are getting busy doing other things. So when they get back to school, you tell them, okay, it's time for examination. You can just write something and probably pass. And then some schools again will say, oh, again, I would say the proliferation of private institutions in Nigeria is something we need to really check. We're having private primary schools, secondary schools, so much so. We're having private colleges of education, private polytechnic universities. And then sometimes I agree that we need to have these institutions because of the increasing population. I mean, so that we can help reduce the access issue. But the truth is, how much checks do we have into all of these, the established ones we have, before you now allow people to begin to begin to have their own? How much checks are we doing? Are we having? So those are the things that you want to look at. The proliferation thing is something that we need to look at and be sure that we are not talking about quantity so much so, but we are looking also at quality of education. Recently, in about 3 to 5 years now, the Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria I've taken it a top notch, a notch higher. I won't say it's top notch, but it's a notch higher, that you must have a teaching certification and then have a license from the TRCN before you're able to teach in the classroom. It's been good, but we can't also say it's been perfect, because some people have also faulted.
I was telling Dr. Vera viewers about teaching generally, even here in the UK, and I was discussing how, they struggle with the government. Teachers here, also in the UK, always try to fight for their salaries, fight for their holidays. They don't have the luxury that other companies or parastatals do have. They are always the last to get into everything, but they are the ones teaching, our young stars. They taught us They taught the people in the government. So why not hold them in high esteem and do theirs first? This is what I don't understand about the whole thing. But hey, who am I to complain? You know, I'm going with the flow. But the good thing about what we're doing is because we know that at some point, someday, what we're talking about is going to get to the ears of the government at some point. But I just want Dr. Vera saying this, how can we achieve this for teachers to be heard? How can we achieve it? I know we've done rallies, we've complained, we've gone on strike. You said about strike the other time. You know, the professors are, well, I'm not saying that the professors here are not enjoying. I mean, they get paid. They don't waste time to pay them. It might not just be enough. So I don't know how it is in Nigeria, but I know that it might be a bit.
It's not enough here. It's not enough here.
So, Dr. Vera, please.
It can never be enough. So let me correct that. I mean, it can never be enough anywhere in the world.
It can never be, yeah.
To your question about what should we do, what can we do? We just keep talking. We just keep, at every opportunity we find, we just keep saying.
It's not working. We've been talking for ages, Doctor.
What can we do? We just keep talking, and then we keep giving our best. And one thing that I'll tell you something that's happening recently, and I'm sure that we'll get to hear this. Teachers are leaving the profession in Nigeria now. Just immediately after the pandemic, teachers began to resign from jobs. You know, some were cases of the owners not being fair. Some cases of teachers saw a better life, you know, I could work from home. Teachers got other options, and then they began to do other things. But the truth is, I usually would say that we need to keep talking. We need to keep talking, and not just talking with our words. Teachers alone cannot do the talking. What about the end users? What about our parents? Because parents are also the people that they're our clients. That's the truth. They are our customers. They pay us. So,
but don't parents look down on teachers as well? They don't respect teachers anymore. They look down on teachers.
Yes. So some parents look down on teachers, but I can tell you, this is just me, my own story. All my years of working, no parent ever looked down on me. I can say this, and this is a YouTube program, so it goes live everywhere. I mean, no parent ever look. If you try to do that, I've always known myself, and I know teachers who are in that league as well. So yes, you said that. Okay, a good number of parents look down on teachers, but I can tell you that that's becoming history. And if teachers continue with the pace they are going right now, parents will begin to respect. I think teachers, you must know your onion. Know what it is that you are paid to do. Because you can't go into a banking hall and your banker gets up and tells you, come sit on my chair. That chair is a revert chair. So the same thing, you as teachers, you must let them understand when they come to you to ask you questions. First of all, when parents come to me to tell me about their children, I school them. Not because they are babies, but because I am an authority in this field. If I need to learn about my medical issues or my child's medical issues, I will come to you as a medical doctor. If I want to know about investments, I've gotten my salary, I want to save money, I know I will come to you as a banker or an investor. Or an investment banker or something. But if you have an issue with your child's learning in my classroom, I am the authority. I can tell you exactly what I need you to do. Now, it's okay if you accept it or you say you would not accept it, but the truth is, I am the authority. I've been learning many years of my life in practice. I've been many years of my life building systems for schools. I've done so much investment in my life that has given me the authority to say the things that I say when it comes to education. So you must listen to me. So I tell teachers, you must take on that seat as a professional that they are. Now, where we have a problem, back to what we were saying earlier, a teacher who does not even understand the process of teaching learning may not be able to school a parent. So the parents now be telling you things. You know, many times some people know so much. Teaching is not English. It's not. It's not grammar. It's not because you can speak phoneme or you can. You know.
No.
It has absolutely nothing to do with that. It's fine if teachers can package themselves and speak correct English, but that is beyond all of those.
It's what they have up there.
Thank you. And this thing you have up here, you have learnt it over time.
That's right.
In the classroom by tutelage. Now, up here, you've also done so many things with experience. You've taught 5-year-olds for 5 years. You know about the 5-year-old more than a parent who has, because it's me, I sit with 25 5-year-olds for 5 years. I have seen 25 5-year-olds behave for 9 months. I have seen another set for 9 months. So I can comfortably tell you
about 5-year-olds
and what is right. Yes. So you cannot tell me, because teachers, I always tell teachers, one thing we must do as teachers, or for teachers who will be listening to this show, you must do your own research. You must read, and keep reading. Research is very key. If you have researched, you have studied, and you have experience, you have a perfect combination to run any classroom. And then you are able to speak to parents, teach them, direct them, advise them. You may not be able to instruct them because we're talking about their own children, but you would advise, and you're hoping, you will just keep hoping that they listen to you and act accordingly. So all things that like I was telling you something recently, teachers are leaving the profession, but some of us will stay. Some people will not leave. But there are ways that you can actually do better. And I've been speaking to teachers quite recently now because of all of this pandemic and all that. I said, teachers, leverage on the skills you have. What stops a teacher from selling a course? Put up your course and put it online for parents to buy.
I know. That's it. This is the difference. Fantastic. Sorry to cut you off. This is the difference between the whites and Nigerians. The whites utilize what they have. They put their content online. When you search for any subject, you find a white teacher teaching it away. But where are our African teachers, especially where our Nigerian teachers, they can put lots of content out there that will make people understand the language. Some Nigerians don't even understand the language of the Englishman. The words they pronounce might not be the way we pronounce it in Nigeria. So if our Nigerian teachers put content out there, it's easier for the students to learn, and it's easier for parents to even teach them from the house. Thank you for hitting the nail on the wall. Thank you.
I know this is going to happen soon. You would see in the next in 2021, I am sure that Black Nigerian content will be viral. In 2021.
Can I say an
I'm telling you. Say an name to it. For math, for English, for social studies, for science, we are waking up serious. So it's important that we as teachers teach children beyond reading, writing. And if you see teachers who are excelling today, and that's where we are praying that we'll go. I think what some schools are already doing that in Nigeria. We're beginning to teach children beyond the classroom.
That's right.
Teaching children for the world. Teaching children so that when our children come out, they're able to solve problems. We should get to the point with our teaching as teachers, where we teach children for the world, and they'll be able to transfer the learning from the classroom to the marketplace now.
Saying that, abroad, they really, really love Africans, especially Nigerians, because they know that they have something up there. I think with the nursery, primary, secondary school level, we're really doing great jobs as far as teaching the students. But it's only sometimes, I think it's only when we get to the university, like a child. My sister, for example, she studied computer science, and then when she traveled to America, it was completely different because she didn't handle, the computer at all. So when she went back to school over there, she struggled. She struggled to do this. So, saying that, I know that Nigerians have got it. We've got quality quality,
No,
and
we have.
teachers are really doing good. Not the teachers that just, woke up to say, yeah, I'm a microbiologist and I just want to
Last
teach.
resort.
Yeah. So,
Mm-hmm.
those ones that are good are really good, and they're doing good for themselves and for the children they teach. It's just that when we go along the line of going to the university, there's a break somewhere, and everybody just wants to say, okay, the lecturer is this lecturer, let me just pass, just give me a pass and let me go. When it gets to that
Yes, yes.
stage, it gets worse. But I don't want to diversify too much, because I know that teaching, you have to come back again, Dr. Vera. This has not finished from here. You have to come back again, please. We need to talk more about this. But I have a very last question for you before you go for
All
tonight, please.
right.
And it's about helping people into teaching. Please, can you tell the world about teaching in Nigeria, how they can get into teaching in a proper way, not just you submitting your CV to every local nursery and primary school around you, but how you can properly be trained
To
as a
become a teacher.
professional.
Okay, so fantastic question. First things, do you like to teach? Check yourself. When you were in the primary school, recently someone called me and said, Vera, I like what you're doing so much now. And I just remembered our days in the university, how you would gather us, and we would be in class, we would not understand anything the teacher is saying, or our lecturer. When we get to the room, you would gather everyone, you would explain, and we'll understand it better,
You've
and we
always
will
been
write
a
our
teacher.
exams. And so growing up, my father was not looking at me. For him, he thought my child is too smart to become a teacher. So
Yeah, the dream of every
wants to
Nigerian
become a
parent is
teacher,
to be a medical doctor.
doctor. That's it. So if you want to become a teacher, check first. You've got to do secondary school. What have you been doing with yourself? Now, when you finish secondary school and you want to get into university, you study education, whatever education. Mathematics education, that's what my first degree was in. My story is very interesting. Maybe when next I come, So if it's English education, early childhood education, special needs education, whatever education, you could have that as NC if you want to go. I really love the NCE program. Yeah, I know it's been bastardized in some places. Yeah, I agree. But I love the NCE program so much so that it takes you to the rudiments of teaching. And then if you're lucky or fortunate to be in a good school with good lecturers, you go through the NCE program. But many people don't like to do that because they feel it's just going to be a waste of time. Or I can't tell people I'm doing NCE. So it's okay if you want to go straight to the university to do a BEd or a BSc Ed. So when you have that for 4 years, after your BSc Ed or BEd, you move on to for a master's program in education, whatever field you would want to. And then if you want to continue with a PhD, why not? If that's what you really want to do, So what you will do is the first degree in education, the second degree. Now, if for any reason you studied maybe English language, microbiology, like you said earlier, or any course at the first degree level, but over time, you really felt like, I've seen people who genuinely left those fields and decided to say, I want to teach. And believe me, they're doing excellently well. Because for them, they came into teaching profession not because there was no other alternative. I know some people who had very fantastic jobs, but just loved children and said, I would want to teach. So those people now, if you're in that category, then go get a PD or a PGD. Now, PDs, you can get that professional diploma in education from a college of education, or you go to a university of education for a postgraduate diploma in education. So that 1 year program helps you with the theory behind the teaching profession as it is. You learn philosophy, psychology, principles of teaching and all that. Then you have some months of teaching practice where you practice teaching and all that. But the best I would say is have a BSc in education and be ready. Don't go for a BSc in education because you do not have a choice. That's another thing. Some people would get maybe the JAMB score is not good enough for the course they want, and the university says, okay, just go to education. That's something that has to be corrected here too. That's one of the problems we have. And so that's why we have people who are just very much not ready for school in the faculty of education. So they just let my people go, let my people go. But I can assure you, I know some schools in Nigeria who would make sure that they don't recruit or they don't accept layabouts in the faculty of education for the proper program. I don't know about the other distant learning programs. I can't really say much about those ones, but I can say categorically for some schools in Nigeria, if you do not have the requisite qualification to come into the faculty of education, it's a no area for you. I wish that there will come a time where that will be the case for us in Nigeria, because if we get there, that would be the beginning of things for us. I feel
but Dr. Vera, what you're saying is really good. Yeah, the BSc route, the B.Ed route, they're very good. But let me just compare abroad for a minute, because so many students after college, they don't want to go to the university. They just want to do teacher training. Is it a must to go to university as well to do this?
Oh, well. Okay, well, the minimum qualifications to teach a primary school right now in Nigeria is the NCE.
NCE.
I know what it is to run. I was a dean of a college of education, so I know what the NCE program is like. It's rich, it's fantastic. Now there are two things involved. Is the school doing it well? Are the students in it? Is the school running because, we want students so we can just accept anybody? Or is the school entry standard, is it good enough? If it's good enough and the teachers are doing what they're supposed to do, with your NC degree, I think you can teach from primary 1 to GSS 3. Okay. Because it is really good. It is deep. It is fantastic. If you have good teachers, if you have the curriculum is good, although it needs to be improved upon. Of course, with what we have seen now, we know that we need to infuse a lot of technology in our teaching. So the NC program is fantastic. You can, but the truth is, again, like I said, these things about our country is somehow, because there are many people with the BS, with the bachelor's degree in education who don't have jobs. So if you have your NC and you go and apply, they would rather pick one who has the BSc. We're still a nation. Yeah, we're still a nation that is so much into certifications, which I personally, I don't agree with, but I believe as time goes on, because usually I made a 2-1 at my first degree, and of course the distinction at master's and distinction for PhD. But the truth is, I don't even believe in that. Those things are fine, but I do not, when I want to recruit, I do not ask for a second class offer. Just bring what you have. I mean, I know the minimum standards. Okay, there are things that we'll call added advantage, but I don't want to excuse that person whose certification is not so fantastic, whose degree, because there are different factors that can be responsible for a child's results. So I want to bring all of you in, and then let me hear you. That's I believe that's where many of us are going now, because we found again that the beautiful certificates might not really be, they're not the skills that we want.
Yeah, it's really interesting because I know that it's not everybody that has that has the opportunity to go to the university. So it's just to help, people that have struggled through their primary school, their secondary school, and then they didn't have the opportunity to go to university. I mean, we should be able to help them in a kind of teacher training program that will get them a job.
I totally agree with you. And that's what, thankfully, in your moderacy and all of that, I thank God that while I was at the College of Education, I had students who I had to help get good jobs with their NC. Some were even on the program. I had to call on school leaders. This student is very good. I know this student. I have taught this student. I've made this. I've given these students scenarios. Because my own teaching style is totally like what I learned from the professor who taught me. My professor is too practical. Just come and do. There's no drama. So when I've when I've exposed my students to such opportunities in the classroom, beyond the classroom, I know what this person can deliver, even without the NC. So fine, even if you want to make her like an assistant or someone who just helps you. There was one who, by the grace of God, where she was working as whether I saw a teacher or a class assistant, she wasn't coming to class regularly because the person had issues releasing and all that. So I had to speak with someone who had a school closer to where the college was at the time, and then she had to accept her into her school as a teaching assistant with 150% salary increment, from what she was spending.
That's fantastic.
So can you hear me?
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yes. 150. So, and then she still did not have the certificate at the time. Yes. So, but she got there and did a contest for teachers right now. And one of them spoke to me and she says, "Oh, I want to be a part of this program." I said, "Fantastic, go ahead and do it." She has been teaching in a very, very fantastic school as an assistant. Guess what? The only reason she has not been able to, the owner of the school called me up just before the pandemic and says, "Fantastic person you sent to us. Even without the certificate, she's delivering well. We are unable to give her a class because she does not have the certificate for it." But parents are screaming that this person is fantastic. Skills will trump certificates at any point in time.
Yeah.
But I love certifications because I've got a lot, so I shouldn't tell someone don't do it. But no, I try as much as possible to match because somebody says what she's saying. Somebody can say that and then already you've got to the peak of your own career. You've gotten the highest degree in the world, and you're telling us not to do. So, but I would rather I'd rather you match certifications with skills. Match it with experience. Be sure that you're delivering. Don't just go and pack certificates, and when you come to the job, you're unable to deliver. All right. So,
oh my God, it's been an interesting time with Dr. Vera. I don't want to let her go, viewers. She said a lot of things today. I've been moved to say, look, I'm going for teacher training myself, but I don't know if I've got the time. Maybe if I see Dr. Vera very soon, I'll tell her to hook me up in a program, and I can start it. But there is no time. No time is wasted. You can still be who you want to be, what you want to be. Teaching is not a bad job. Just as Dr. Vera said it, she is one herself. She's helped so many people climb the ladder. You can, if you want to get in touch with Dr. Vera for her to explain much more about how you can get into teaching, I'll hand the microphone over to her so that she can tell us how you can get in touch with her. Doctor, over to you.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Adey, for this. Okay, so if you want to get in touch with me, my Instagram handle is VeraJamesGC, at VeraJamesGC. Twitter, I'm not so much there, so let me leave that. LinkedIn, Vera James PhD, Vera James, PhD. Instagram at VeraJamesGC, Facebook page at VeraJamesGC. So you could just send me a DM, or that's a DM is fine, or something, and then I would certainly respond to you.
Oh wow. Please
so let me quickly say something about sponsorship. I'm not sure I said something about it. I need to talk about someone in my life. Okay. There's my boss, Dr. Ifeako Thomas. When I teach people about the teaching profession and how you can climb the ladder, it was when you talked about ladder now that came to my mind. Beyond mentorship, life has gone beyond. People are talking about sponsorship now, and I began to trace my own life, and I thought to myself, there's a lady that I cannot write there's so many people that have impacted me in this life. Dr. Ifeako Thomas, I would call her my sponsor because she was my boss. I started the job green from the university under her. The first time I met her, I didn't like her. I don't know why. I just thought she was... People don't like me too when they meet me first time. Many times people just say, I think Vera this lady is a bit too strict.
That
that's
didn't
the way
happen
people.
for
So
me.
I
Oh.
thought she was a bit too strict the way she was talking, and I was like, oh my goodness, hey, you
That,
see that you already said we look alike.
yeah, we do.
You know, I think we're just being fake. The truth is there, we are the worst people. We are so free and simple, but we try to so that people will not.
Exactly. You try to hold yourself
Maybe
up,
that's.
like.
So I felt she was really. I said, what kind of person is God? Help me! I don't want this job again. I started working under her, and then I remember my first appraisal with her, and then she wrote something and says, "Potential. We need to look at this person." And I went home with that document. I looked at the document and I said, wow, potential. So I noticed if she wants to do things, Vera do this, Vera do that, Vera do this, Vera do that. She was giving me so much. So when, as a teacher, if you find someone like that and you know what you're doing, please stay with that person. A good person. I know some people are people who are users. So when we talk about sponsorship, don't look for someone who is going to be a user to you, use you and then dump you. But she gave me so much work to do, and what the work was building me such that I told you about.
It's like a personal trainer.
Thank you. She was my personal trainer without paying a dime, And then she moved me from the primary, and then when the college, she started the College of Education. So when she started college, she looked at, okay, who do I have on my team that has the qualification? Again, that's
Qualification.
The skill. So she was looking for, and she knows I had the skill. I could do what she wanted me to do, and then she moved me, and that movement improved me on every side. And that's why I can say today that, of course, I have taught in the primary, I've consulted for secondary, I've taught in the College of Education, I'm teaching right now in the university. So for people like that in your life, you need them. When you find them, the genuine ones, please hold on to them, learn from them, do everything that they tell you to do. I mean, you know them, that they are genuine and they are true and they are sincere. You need to spot, and like I said, you must also strategically place yourself. I'm sure if I was a layabout, she may not even have noticed me.
Exactly.
So teachers, it's important that you know yourself, you get your certifications or your qualifications and everything, you research, you have the skill, and I'm sure you will excel. That's the truth. You will excel. So like you said, at Vera James GC, just search me up. And my website is www.verajamesgc.org. www.verajamesgc.org. It's under renovation right now, but it will be up soon.
Very soon. Okay, thank you for that, Dr. Vera. And all you potential students, this is a great mentor for you all. So just run after her. Make sure you hold on tight. You've heard everything that she said today. So I'm sure that you will be there. You'll be up there if you are humble enough to work with her. And I'm sure she'll be happy to have you. Thank you so much, Dr. Vera. Thank you so much for coming on my show.
Thank you, Adey,
I'll say that this is part one of this topic, because it's a very wide topic and we need to talk about it so much so. Yeah, I pray that God will bless you and bless the work of your hands, and you'll continue to go upwards. And I pray that, the children God has given to you, they will excel as well in life. And, you are teaching others, and God has given you your own children. I pray that, your children will be teachable from you, and they'll be good citizens and good representatives of your home and of your country. In the name of Jesus. Thank you so much for coming on my show. I really appreciate you, Doctor.
Amen. Thank you so much, Adey. Thank you. I really appreciate these prayers. I've hardly had anything like this.
That's what my mom was saying. That's what my mom was saying.
Thank you so much. It was nice chilling with you.
Oh yes, so I'm always happy to have people like you on my show, because you've given us so much insight, and I pray that God will give you the grace to come back again on my show. Okay.
I will.
So much
I will.
for
Thank you so much. All
coming.
right. Bye. Thank you everyone
Thank you,
for watching.
everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll come again next week to bring another interesting topic to you that you will learn from. But stay tuned. Keep on subscribing, keep on liking, and keep on sharing. Thank you very much. Good night.